But in the meantime, what we're going to do is we're going to make this brisket more manageable to cook. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this fat line. This is hard fat that runs right through here. But you see now how nice and white that fat is? Tells me that this was grain finished. Okay, if it's grass finished, it's going to be yellow, and it's not going to look quite as good as this.
And you don't want grass-fed?
No, grass-fed is going to have a different taste to it. Now it's my taste. I just don't like the grass-fed because it's very gamey. I mean, well, it almost tastes like deer. If you've ever had deer, elk, antelope, very similar type taste because it's how they finish. Okay, so what we're going to note now, and we're going to talk a little bit about this on how to cut. Here's our grain patterns that run just like this, okay? An important part to understand about this brisket is we're going to have a grain pattern on the flat, we're going to have a grain pattern on the point. Every cut of meat, every different muscle is going to have a different grain pattern on it. Okay. So we'll have a grain pattern on here, but our important part in competition is we're looking through here. This is our slicing meat. But if I go and cut this the wrong way, I've just created beef jerky, okay? But now what we're doing is when we're cooking this brisket, we're forming a crust across this. So I'm going to lose this grain pattern. So I need to make sure that I notch my end on the way I'm going to cut when I pull this brisket off, okay? So I know how to slice it now. I'll want to be able to slice this way once that brisket cooks up, okay? So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to trim out some of this subcutaneous fat here. This is again the separation point between the two pieces, the point and the... And what it does is it helps that brisket cook a little bit better, set a little bit, and then when I go to cut that brisket, I'm not going to have to worry about that big piece of fat being. This side a little bit to get some of this fat, and again this is going to be more because I don't want to have to clean it out of the cooker because that's right where it's going to end up. I'm not going to worry much about that. Okay.